Good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a great morning. Well, I know that I am usually the early bird. I am usually the early bird who is up at 4 in the morning while everybody else is asleep. But that's okay. I am here to do what we do at this time every morning, and I will be continuing the reading of the Bible. And wow, we are just about halfway through the Bible. Boy, guys, this has been a journey, you will admit. This has been a journey. Here we are coming from the book of Genesis, and now we are all the way at the book of Psalm. We got a little ways to go. That's going to take us, I'm sure, into next year. But as my grandmother always says, the longest journey starts with the first step. So we are on our way. For those of you who are new or just coming in to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining me. I sincerely appreciate you all. Now, for those of you who are new, I just want to say to you that we do not endorse any particular religion or denomination. What we are simply trying to do is to read the Bible for ourselves. Um, since the Bible has so much influence on every aspect of our lives, I just think that it is imperative that we know what is in the Bible rather than continue to ride on the little bits and pieces that we are given from going to church or from being raised in a Christian home. So that is why I've taken on this mammoth challenge of not just reading the Bible, but sharing it with you as I read it. Because I know a lot of people would have loved to be able to read the Bible, but my golly, they just can't be bothered with having to read it themselves. And with that realization, I've decided that's all right. I want to read it, but I have the time to read it aloud. So hey, why not share it with my travelers? All right, and with the newbies. So thank you all so much for coming. Thank you all so much for your support on my channel. Today we are going to be reading the book, the chapter that is actually the longest chapter in the entire book of in the entire Bible, and that is Psalm chapter 119. All right, today we're not going to read the entire thing, but we are going to be reading it in parts as time will allow us. Today we are going to be reading for just about 20 minutes. So we are going to read until the 20 minutes up. All right, so come along with me, my friend. Get your book, get your Bible, your book Bible, or your Google Bible, whichever you have handy, and let us read. Psalm 119. And it's surprising to me that Psalm 119 does not have a foreword, considering that it is so long. But let us continue. Psalm 119. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with a whole heart. They also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. Oh, that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart, when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. I will keep thy statutes. O forsake me not utterly. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto, according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. O let me not wander from thy commandments. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. Blessed art thou, O Lord. Teach me thy statutes. With my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth. I have rejoiced in the ways of thy testimonies, as much as in all riches. I will meditate in thy precepts, and have respect unto thy ways. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word. Deal bountifully with thy servant, that I may live and keep thy word. Open thou mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. I am a stranger in the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me. My soul breaketh for the longing that it hath unto thy judgments at all times. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. Remove from me reproach and contempt, for I have kept thy testimonies. Princes also did sit and speak against me, but thy servant did meditate in thy statutes. Thy testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. My soul cleaveth unto the dust. Quicken thou me according to thy word. I have declared my ways, and thou heardest me. Teach me thy statutes. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts. So shall I talk of thy wondrous works. My soul melteth for heaviness. Strengthen thou me according unto thy word. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me thy law graciously. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments have I laid before me. I have struck unto thy testimonies. I have stuck unto thy testimonies, O Lord. Put me not to shame. I will run the way of I will run. I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart. Now, you see why you got to read the Bible diligently, because the grammar in the Bible is oftentimes not familiar grammar. So you might be saying a word that you expect to follow the word that you just said, but then it's something else. But we are moving along. We are going along. So welcome. Oops. So welcome into the live, everybody. Once you come in, please say something so I know you are there, so you can get your special welcome and follow along with us. We are on to verse 33 of Psalm chapter 19. And it says, Teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, and I will keep it unto the end. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Make me to go in the excuse me. Make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away my eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fair. You know why right there is so interesting, guys? I said it before. I had people call me or text me and ask me why I say that a lot of people are not declaring themselves to be Christian or upright citizens religiously just because they feel in their hearts that they love God or want to follow the Judaic teachings of the Bible, but it's usually out of fear. People didn't like that I said that they were Christians out of fear, but that's how I feel. Have you ever gone to a church or a crusade or any religious meeting and the preacher up there says to you, just get out of your seat and come up here. There is all rewards for you if you come. Nothing less. Ever? No. There is always the fear of hell and death. And that is what has gotten a lot of people. The fear of hell and death. Because that is for sure one of the prevailing teachings of not just Christianity, but just about every religion. A lot of people abide by the principles or try to, because they are afraid that if they don't, something bad is going to happen. And I don't have a problem with us being decent citizens, being good people, because if the Bible says thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, as a decent human being, you can't go against that and say, well, I don't know what the Bible is talking about thou shalt not kill or steal. Would there be a better alternative? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I wouldn't want to read a book that tells me to do the opposite. Would the opposite be better? No, it would not be better. But do I have to be so afraid? Do I have to be brought in with such fear for me to obey? We know that fear will set any human straight, because a lot of us are not in jail just because we are afraid. If it wasn't that we were going to go to jail, we would defend ourselves in ways other than trying to be civil. So there's always that deterrent for obnoxious behavior. So now, here the author is saying, establish thy word unto thy servant. He's talking about himself, who is devoted to thy fear. Yes, we see all the readings so far where the children of Israel were always so deathly afraid of their God. I'm not lying. They were always deathly afraid of their God because they know what could happen, what will happen if they did not do according to what Moses had established towards them was their laws. That's going to make them into a whole people. And so they were always afraid. And it might be or it might not be. I just think that is why a lot of them just left. That is why the kingdom fell as it did. And that is just my opinion based on what I have read and analyzing the whole reading. Because imagine every single day of your life, everything you're gonna do that day, you have to stop and think about it, whether or not it's going to cost you your life. No matter how simple it is. It could just be something as expressing a thought about these current laws. Just expressing a thought, an objection to any of the laws that were established by Moses, and that in of itself could cause you death. I can't imagine living in that society where you are literally put to death for just about anything. The punishments were so severe for the simplest infraction. The punishments were so severe. After a while, people get tired, like, wow, what can I do that will not earn me the punishment of possibly death? And so, in my humble opinion, I think that is why the kingdom fell, because the people could not keep up. The people couldn't keep up with all these rules and laws and precepts and commandments and expectations. After a while, the generations started to question the relevance of it all. And with no clear answer except the fear of death, the people just decided, hey, I'm going to just hightail out of here. I'm going to be out. I'm gone. And so they just separated themselves from the kingdom, went away to faraway lands, stopped following these precepts and commandments of Moses, and little by little the kingdom was divided bit by bit. People were gone. And that is what I believe is happening even in today's world. Because once upon a time, every Saturday or Sunday, the streets would be filled with people going to and from places of worship. Today, when you drive on the street on a Saturday morning, you don't see anybody. You hardly see anybody going to church. On a Sunday morning, you hardly see anybody going to church. I think the days of old are existing in our societies today. And I don't know if you have noticed, but I have. And it seems like the same attitude towards not towards the church, but towards these teachings is prevailing at this time. And that is why there has been a significant decline in the number of people who are actually devoted, ardently devoted towards going to church on a Saturday or a Sunday. Let us move on. Psalm 119 and verse 39 says, "Turn away my reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. Let thy mercies come also unto me, O Lord, even thy salvation, according to thy word. So shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproacheth me, for I trust in thy word. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for I have hoped in thy judgments. So shall I keep thy law continually, forever and ever. And I will walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. My hands also will I lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and I will meditate in thy statutes." Let's continue. We are, for those of you who are just coming, we are on to Psalm 119 and verse 49. And this block here is the last block that we're going to be reading. Now, when you hear me say block, well, the book of Psalm chapter 19 has been broken up in little blocks. Psalm 119 verse 49. "Remember the word unto thy servant, upon which thou hast caused me to hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me. The proud have had me greatly in derision, yet have I not declined from thy law. I remembered thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself. Horror hath taken hold upon me, because of the wicked that forsake thy law. Thy statutes have been my songs in the house of my pilgrimage. I have remembered thy name, O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law. This I had, because I kept thy precepts. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. I entreated thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, but I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee because of thy righteous judgments. I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. Here is where we're going to end the reading for this morning. Once again, I want to say thanks to you all for coming into the live. I sincerely appreciate you all stopping by. Join me again tomorrow morning around the same time, same place as we continue reading the Bible. That's where we are going to end for this morning, my friends. Until next time. This is Trev from Travescence, where your journey matters. Have yourselves a great day, everybody.